What is up, Tube and Tubettes? Mr. Pixar here with Sakura's Spirit. Oh my god, where have we gotten ourselves into? Boobies! Yes, it's a visual novel game. I don't know that much about it. I only know I saw Boobies on Steam and it was €7 and I thought, this is the game. This is the game of the year. Let's just start it up. Every person has a dream they wish to pursue. Every person does have a dream to pursue. A dream everyone wants to accomplish. Yet as people grow up, they often are forced to realize that obtaining that dream is just that. A childish illusion that is simply impossible to reach out for. Saddening. At least that's what most people say. Then what about those who do accomplish their dreams? Are they merely incredibly lucky? I don't think so. I think everything you can accomplish by yourself, man. Dad, every man has a dream they want to accomplish. However, there is something really important you should know, my boy. That a real man doesn't give up on their dream, no matter what overwhelming challenges they might face. I still remember those foolish words my dad used to say, yet despite their silly nature, I found myself inspired by them. Ever since I was a child, I was interested in martial arts. It didn't matter whether it was following a match on television or reading a manga about some heroic martial artist. It always been a dream for me to become a martial artist someday. Of course, it was a bit childish to admit I wanted to learn martial arts to be able to be a hero. What a great father. Well, at my age I already came to understand superheroes were part of our imagination. I still had the desire to use my power for others their sake. My name is Gushiken Takahiro, 70 years old, rising Judo Star. And no, that's not me doing some smuck talking. I'm actually about to take part in competition 2 weeks from now that could make or break my career at an international level. Of course, I was excited about the opportunity to finally accomplish my dreams and represent my country at a sport that I loved, but the same excitement also made me feel incredibly nervous. While those worrisome thoughts haunted my mind, a familiar voice resounded from outside the window. Oi! Taka-kun! Get your butt in gear! Hi! I'll be right there, Koyomi! Koyomi! Not wanting to keep Koyomi waiting, I quickly dashed toward the front door to let her in, not even realizing that I was still in my pajamas. Just a moment, Koyomi. Got to grab my shoes and then we can go to school. Really? I didn't know our school had a strict uniform or sleep-wear policy. Dummy. Nice jammies. By the way, did you borrow that from your mom? For a moment, my eyes drifted downwards, noticing that I was indeed wearing my pajamas. I let out a groan of annoyance and marched back towards my room. Bah! There's nothing wrong with my jammies. The Golden Knight is a famous comic book hero in the West. Besides, not everyone prefers to sleep naked like you. Mumbling those words, I started stripping out of my clothes, seemingly not minding the presence of the girl behind me at all. Ooh, you nasty little boy. That happened one time, you know it. It was super hot that evening. And geez, warn me before you step in front of me. You idiot. Baka. You didn't mind it when we were little. Perhaps you want me to turn around instead. Oh, you're a sneaky little man. No! Stop! Don't make me kick your ass! Deciding I had teased her enough, I quickly put on my pants and resumed working on the remaining few items of clothing before I was suitably dressed for school. Besides, I had a reason for being distracted. You've been distracted a lot lately. What's going on in that hollow skull of yours? It's that upcoming match. I've got no idea how anyone can remain calm when an international career is at stake. I wouldn't be surprised if I started making up enough doomsday scenarios to fill up the apocalypse genre. Oh right, the judo thing. I'm sure you know. Wait, it's the girl. Oh, she changed quickly. She turned into a man. Oh right, the judo thing. I'm sure you'll do fine. I've seen some of your matches and you kick butt. And of course, you are really worried. You could always pray. Okay, pray? What? You don't tell me you don't know? My changes don't change. No, it's one of the school legends. There's some shrine up in the forest that if you pray to it, it will give you good luck. Ichikawa-san said that his sister prayed to it and the night before exam, and she got 100%! A shrine? This is said to give you good luck? Sounds bogus to me, but at this point, I'll be trying out anything, I guess. Maybe I'll talk to my classmate to get the location of that shrine. I'm not exactly in the mood to get lost in the forest and turn into a Japanese Tarzan. Well, whatever! If you do go looking, at least send me a message to let me know. Are you going to hurry up or are we going to be late again? A hero is never too early, nor are they too late. They arrive precisely when needed. Quoting, Gandalf, I see. Little bitch. But for the sake of missing detention, let us hurry. That's a wizard, not a hero, genius. Oh, she knows. She's a keeper. How can one person be such a sports nerd and such a geek at the same time? Let's not forget the Casanova and Man of the Year candidate bits. They are important details. I doubt you qualify as either of them, Pajama Boy. Anyway, let us boldly go where everyone has gone before. To school! Nerd! Ah yes, several hours later. This is going off quite in the right way. Cute girl. Oh, dot dot dot. Dot 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 dot. Dot 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 dot. Dot. Ah, we're at school. It had been during the afternoon when I finally had the chance to talk to my classmates in an attempt to get an idea where that shrine Koyomi had mentioned before had been located. Gym was the last thing on the menu for today, so once we started getting ready to go home, I approached the guys. Hey! Ichikawa! Is it true that your sister discovered some shrine that is said to grant you some good luck? Let me guess. You also want to date her? Well, even I do have to admit, she's very attractive. I'm afraid she's already going out with someone. Not to mention, you're not her type. I already got my hands full dealing with Koyomi. You can keep your sister where she is. Jokes aside, I'm more interested in the shrine. Did she mention where she found it? I didn't knew there was anything near the forest aside from the dojo. Oh, well, she said something about it being near the river and quite high up. I'll be honest, I didn't pay too much attention when she was going on about it. I mean, she was wearing this top and it was tight and... Stop! Stop! We don't need to hear the details. I doubt anyone wants to hear your daydream about your sister, my friend. Anyone else who heard about this shrine before? Oh my god, he likes his sister. He's going in for incest. Little bitch. Are you talking about the luck shrine in the forest? Yes, the one and only. There's supposed to be one near a river according to Ichikawa's sister. I don't know about that. There's this fairy girl at the Sakura dojo who knows more. Wait! Are you talking about Arya-sama? Small, strong, and scary? That's the one! Oh, then I can be a bit more of help. Takahiro-kun, I know where the place is. I don't think Arya-senpai will like it if you end up visiting her with your usual tricks in mind. Do I need to remind you what happened last time you tried to peek at her after she finished her training? There was blood, sweat, tears. All the tears. Shut up! I do not go peeking there. That's slander, that is. I could sue you. I do not look into changing rooms after practice when Arya-sama is showering. Oh, then you haven't seen her naked yet? I've seen a bit of side boob. Just a bit of side boob. But the knot hole I found doesn't really let me get a good view of. There we go. Someone call the cops. PP Ichikawa has confessed. I playfully patted Ichikawa's shoulder while I turned around, grabbing my bag in the process while I prepared to leave. Anyway, thanks for the tip, Ichikawa. I'll let the judge know you were most helpful during the interrogation. This is unfair! I was coerced! I won't say another thing until I speak to my lawyers. What? Is this America? dot 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 dot. After school was over, I decided to bet my chances on a little bit of intel I had obtained from my classmates. If my memory served me right, then Arya-senpai was about to be practicing at the dojo today. Of course I knew her. In the end, she was a dojo student, like me. But for some reason I heard that she declined the invitation to compete in serious tournaments ever since a certain event happened. Arya-senpai! Are you around? While I shouted her name, I parked my bike at a nearby stall and looked for her. Yeah! Ha! Follow the shouts and you find the senpai. I grinned briefly as I saw my senpai seemingly being occupied with the practicing of a series of motions, almost as if she was fighting an imaginary opponent. Perhaps it was a perfect opportunity to get closer to her and surprise her a little. Yes, surprise her just a little bit. Just put one finger up her butthole. She'll be surprised. Slowly I snuck over, making sure to make as little noise as possible before I reached with her hands toward her shoulder. Oh my god. Arya. At the touch against her shoulder, Arya-senpai reacted. She grabbed hold of my hand and with a loud grunt shifted her weight, curling and tipping me over her shoulder. It was all I could do to brace myself for impact as I hit the ground like a sack of potatoes. Yeah! No one sneaks up on the great Kunoichi Aya! Oh! Takabozu! Didn't realize it was you! I'm sorry, are you okay? Kunoichi? More like Tasmanian devil! That throw didn't hold a shred of mercy in it. There's no mercy in the ring, Takabozu! Better you learn that lesson now than in 2 weeks' time. Let me guess, you want to do some sparring, right? I actually came here to ask you something. Perhaps a little sparring wouldn't hurt after that. Oh! What do you want to ask? We've got all afternoon for the sparring. That I could do with a bit of break anyway. Where to start? Senpai, you used to take part in big and important matches. Didn't you get nervous before the big moments? Oh, yeah! Ha! Ha! This one time I got so nervous, I bit in the kitchen cupboards until Dad found me and dragged me to the car by my collar. Of course, that was when I was like, 8. Well, obviously, I can't go and hide for my match. But some friends of mine made this rather silly suggestion to go and pray for something. Honestly, at this point, I'll take anything if it calms my nerves. Just a little, you know. Maybe even a touch of a boob. Takabozu, are you sure about this? You mean the match? Of course I am. I've been practicing judo ever since I could walk. This is my best chance to represent this country, and in the sport I love to. Senpai seemed to think for quite a long time, all the while tapping at the side of her jaw with a finger. Eventually she snapped her fingers and grabbed hold of me tightly. Alright, I'll tell you the way to the shrine, but it's not just going to be simple. Clap your hands together and bob your head. You need to give something to the shrine, something of worth. I guess I'll figure that out by time we get there. Anyway, thanks Senpai, appreciate it. We? Oh, no. Takabozu, I'm not going with you. I've got training to do myself. Besides, you've got to take this step yourself. I can give you a map and an easy way to get back here, but you'll be on your own. Ah, you're not tagging along? Guess it'll be my own adventure to undertake. Afraid so. Takabozu, let me just grab some paper. I'll draw out your map. Well. Oh, wait. Oh. Well. Nope, I don't want to save. Oh yeah, seems very kind. She also sounds so sexy, so sensual. After Arya's return, I followed the directions the map had given me. Surprisingly enough, it wasn't all that far. The tip to get back if I got lost was a little sketchy. Just look down and you'll be able to... Oh wait, it's Arya. Just look down and you'll be able to see the dojo roof from anywhere on the hill. The forest nearby the dojo was my first chance to overcome a lone path going along the trees, and there was even the river Ichikawa's sister had mentioned in the distance. Of course, I decided to stay with my senpai directions, and after an hour or so, I arrived at the shrine. The shrine itself seemed surprisingly well maintained, despite being in the middle of nowhere. It made me wonder if someone secretly lived there. Oh, yes. More big boobs girls will be living here, I suppose. Perhaps some secret martial arts master already daydreams of a potential hermit having hidden themselves in the shrine to prepare themselves for an upcoming clash between good and evil started to dwell in my mind. And yet nobody is around. I sighed in annoyance at the fact the shrine grounds seemed to be entirely abandoned. It was mysterious how the building seemed well maintained, but for the time being I decided to focus on the reason behind my visit. It took me only a few moments before I gathered the courage to enter the temple itself, and inside found a rather fancy looking shrine of sorts at the back of the hall. Guess that's the shrine everyone's talking about. Silently, I folded up the map I was given, and after putting it inside my bag, I approached the shrine. I was kind of skeptical about the whole religious aspect, so I didn't hold too much confidence in the idea of some shrine granting me the luck I would need to win this match. In fact, I don't really think luck is going to help me much in a match like this. In my opinion, martial arts didn't hold any place for luck. A match was all about using the knowledge you gathered from experiences you obtained in previous matches and a nice bit of talent to help guide you through the match. There was simply no room for something superstitious like luck. Clearly, this would be a match where my experience and talent would be tested against that of my opponent. Nothing more and nothing less. How curious! The boy doesn't believe in superstition, and yet this child of man stands here in the place of power, surrounded by the very thing he denounces. Upon hearing the voice, I looked around, trying to find a source, but there was no one to be seen. Who's there? A classic question to ask, and yet the right thing to ask would be, where am I? What do you mean? Obviously you are hiding nearby. Perhaps, but entertain me for a little longer. Why did you come here, if you do not believe in things like luck? I came here to prepare myself. Oh! Do enlighten me about what this something might be that you are preparing yourself for. I felt a little bit annoyed at the questions, but perhaps if I kept talking to her, I would be able to find out where that girl was hiding. I'm preparing for a competition, a judo match. Judo? What's that? Seriously, you don't know what judo is? It's a highly skilled combat art. Aha! So you are a warrior, hesitant to go into battle and came here in hope of finding the resolve to fight? I'm not sure about the warrior part. How fortunate! It just happened that there is need for one of your kin. My kin? A hero! This shrine is meant to bless heroes like yourself. However, every great hero has to sacrifice something in return for the shrine's blessing. Sounds like what the others mentioned. However, I do like your version more. Laughing briefly at the story the hidden girl was telling about the shrine, I decided to play along and clap my hands together in a prayer. So what's next? Toss my allowance into the prayer box? Don't be silly! Money is of little importance to a hero. For you, the sacrifice will be something much more interesting and precious to you. I'll look forward to see what destiny has in store for you. As if on cue, the moment the girl's words reached my ears, I felt nauseous, like my head was spinning wildly. Slowly, I staggered backwards, collapsing onto my back, and while my vision started to grow hazy, I heard footsteps approach me. Good luck! You're going to need it! Oh my god, it's like a succubus. Despite my attempts to get back up, all I could do was briefly look up at the girl. The sight of horns and tail made me wonder if she was cosplaying as some sort of anime character, but before I had the chance to say anything about my vision was consumed entirely by darkness and boobies. Dot 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 dot. More dots. The rays of sunlight that glared into my face stirred me back to consciousness. A groan of annoyance leaving my mouth while I tried to get back onto my feet. I felt a bit dizzy, but the first thing I noticed was that I was no longer within the shrine. Rather, it looked like the forest that was surrounding the dojo. Of course, my first thought was to look around to see if I could find the same girl The same girl from before, but not a trace of her presence had lingered behind. To make things even more curious, the old worn-down path that I had followed amidst the trees was better maintained than I remembered. Maybe I should head home. That thought was cut short when the sound of several female voices came from nearby. Get back here! Hikage, stop them at once! Just what exactly do you think I'm doing? I'm chasing them! Yeah! I think they spotted what's missing on Nesama! Keep running, Chibiko, and we just might escape! Just when I thought this day couldn't get any weirder, there came the sound of heavy footfalls from the forest nearby. Oh my god! Fox ladies and ninjas! A bit everywhere! What in the world is going on here? Just a little bit away from the path I was walking on, I saw a pair of girls being chased by another pair of girls. However, there were two things I noticed that didn't make any sense for me. The first detail was the girls being chased had ears and tail of a fox. Haha, I was right. The other thing being that the girls doing the chasing were armed with a katana and naginata. Conniving kitsune, come back here at once! Return what you stole immediately! Give me back my panties! Hikage! How could you blurt out something like that? Panties! Oh no! Help! Save us from the rampaging woman! Well, the girls had ran away, seemingly into the direction the shrine was located, and I couldn't help but find myself running with the decision to just leave them be. While I didn't know what in the world was going on, the fact the two of the girls were armed with rather realistic-looking props, for surely they couldn't be real. I couldn't call myself a hero if I let such a scene go by without acting. I'm so going to regret this. Mumbling in annoyance, I started chasing after the girls. Hikage! Go around to the left! Right! Left! Why do you always undermine me? Oh, Kami, I wasn't saying right. I was, you know, what? Never mind, just run after them! Well, I was chasing after the girls. I noticed the trees seemingly were getting a little bit denser, making it more difficult to navigate along the path. Onesama! I don't think I can run much more. I'm starting to get a little... Just a little longer, Maiko-chan. We're almost... Maiko! Not a headache! Not now! Sorry! Onesama! Scissor attack! I arrived just in time to find a scene straight from an action movie. The fox girl with the blonde hair had collapsed, seemingly being held up in her companion's lap. The two armed girls were approaching them, almost unmistakably with killing instincts, running amok. Any martial artist could feel that. Those two girls were going to be in for a beating if I didn't stop them. We've got you now, thieves! I'm going to personally drag your sorry butts back to town and have you both stocked. Maybe you'll even see how you feel running around without any undies on. Yeah, although I must admit, having a breeze down there does feel kinda nice. Keeps me feeling fresh and a little bit tingly. Hikage! Goodness, you have no shame, do you? This isn't about your netters. This is about panties and bras. Stolen! And these two criminals being brought to justice. Onesama! It hurts! My head hurts! Shh. It's going to be okay, Chibiko. It's going to be okay, Chibiko. Hey, you, guards! If you're so desperate to have your underwear back, then here, catch! Stop right there! However, before I was able to interrupt the conversation, the silver-haired fox girl tossed a pair of objects into the air. It seemed whatever they were, the two samurai girls were flustered by the tossed projectile. A projectile whose trajectory was heading straight to my face. Oh. Cliché. Some cliché stuff is going to happen. Ugh! I'm blinded! Who the hell tosses a... Peeling off the projectile from my face, I raised them lightly into the air like a professor examining an important sample while at the same time the fox girls made their escape. A pink bra and lacy black panties. Oh boy. I just knew this wasn't going to end up well. Ah! You there! Are you in cahoots with these graphic kitsune? Give those back immediately! Those are evidence of crime and not for anyone else to touch. Drop the panties now! I'm innocent until I'm proven guilty. One of the golden rules of court. Now stop pointing those weapons at me so I can hand over your undies without being turned into kebab. What? No, stop! Shut up! Just drop the evidence and walk away. I'm Tsuki no Mio, chief of the village guards, and I'm ordering you to drop what you're holding right now. I don't know any village guards, and I seriously doubt a cop will go around dressed like that and wielding katana. More importantly, the ground here is muddy and dirty. You are sure I should drop the evidence? I mean, I could, but... Yeah! Before I could react, the pink-haired woman lunged towards me, the spike of her nagita aiming for my guts. Oh my god. My reflexes got just in time, and I was able to palm away the spear as it sailed through the air. I struck up upwards on the wooden shaft of the weapon, sending it up into the air and unbalancing the woman. Narumi! I did not order you to attack! Fine. I'll give them back. Jeez, just my luck to find girls with weapons to be tsundere ones. Tsundere ones? Deciding to extend the hand that held the girls their undies, I tried to hand them over, something that I would soon end up regretting. Ha! Think I'd fall for something so simple? Fool! You may have fooled me once, but not twice! The woman swung her weapon wide, arcing the thick wooden pole into my side before I could dodge. Thick wooden pole. She then lunged towards and grabbed me tightly, pulling my arms around my back, leaving me with sore ribs in a prone position. I could have fought back, but figured it would only lead to more fighting and possibly being stabbed, which I could do without, so I remained passive. The sword-wielding girl sat forward and grabbed the silky underwear from my hands triumphantly. Your method might be crude, but they get results. Hikage, bind his wrists. We'll bring him in for a questioning. He probably knows where those pesky thieves have been hiding. Right! And people wonder why criminals would resist at all costs. I mumbled weakly while I watched the girl in the naginata tie my wrists together with some rope she had concealed somewhere. I hope it wasn't meant for actual criminals. And soon felt myself dragged by the duo towards the direction of the city. Surely once we arrive at the city, you two will stop this role-playing of yours and let me go home, right? As much as I like to fool around, I got more important things to do. Fooling around with these two girls? Every time, baby. The city? Ha! We're not talking you all that way. You'll spend a day in the village cell, Steve. Who are you calling a thief? I'm a victim! First they tossed undies in my face, and then I had to deal with physical abuse and now even slander? Besides, there's no village around those parts. It's the city. You know, Tsukinotoshi. Silence! Hikage, if he speaks again before you get to the village, you have my permission to knock him unconscious. Tsundere tyrant. That's funny. And that's how I was on my way to a jail cell. Cuffed and dragged by two girls that I started to suspect were pretty much crazy in their heads.